Today is National Signing Day for college football. We'll go in depth into the football team's newest talent.
There are more women than ever in Congress, and 5 women are already running for president. We'll talk about what that means for the country. And we hear from a Honduran asylum seeker as he fights to escape violence at home and now in Tijuana. Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
It's so important to acquire the necessary talent to needs that you need on your team at certain positions, and I felt like that we did that in both signing periods.
Well, we'll have at least 26 new faces taking the field at the Coliseum for Troy next fall. Good evening, I'm Angel Viscarra.
I'm Natalie Ruxton. Annenberg Media's Taylor Begley has the latest on USC's new football commits and reaction from Clay Helton. Taylor?
Well, it's National Signing Day, which means it's time to start talking football again. This is the day when USC's recruits are making it official by signing their letters of intent. I got the chance to talk to 4-star wide receiver and new Trojan Kyle Ford.
I feel like it's just more of like a relief. I mean, the recruiting process has been like a lot, especially later in the recruiting process. I'm just happy I chose the right spot for me and my family. And like I said, it's just like weight off my shoulders.
Speaking of family, Ford started to choke up when he was thanking his family for getting him to this day, a day he says he and his father talked about since he was young. Ford also told me he's excited to work with new offensive coordinator Graham Harrell, who is known for using a pass-heavy offense. After having their worst season since 2000, the Trojans recruited 18th nationally and 3rd in the Pac-12, a slight dip from last year when they were 1st in the Pac-12 and 4th nationally. But Helton has a positive outlook for the new team.
And I think one of the things that happens is when your big men are taking charge, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So I think we got the right guys right now, and they're pulling guys together. It's not an individual deal. It's a lot of team, and we're doing a lot more team things together.
19 new Trojans will be looking to make their mark at the Coliseum this fall. Back to you, Angel and Natalie.
Thank you so much, Taylor. Yet another Virginia Democrat is facing criticism today over events from his past. Virginia Attorney General Mark Herring admitted this morning that he dressed up in blackface at a party when he was a student at the University of Virginia. On Friday, a photo in Virginia Governor Ralph Northam's medical school yearbook surfaced showing men in blackface and Ku Klux Klan's robes. Herring was one of the politicians urging Northam to resign from his position. On Monday, Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax was accused of sexual assault back in 2004, which he denied. And in this morning, Herring admitted he dressed up in brown makeup and wore a wig at a party back in the 80s. Terrence Fitzgerald is a professor at the School of Social Work. He says scandals like these are not uncommon.
Literally numerous pictures you can Google or articles from different universities of schools or sororities, fraternities, different student organizations depicting blackface. Just an elected official who's been caught.
Since his announcement this morning, Herring has stepped down as co-chair of the Democratic Attorney General Association.
USC interim president Wanda Austin was inducted into the LA Hall of Fame today by Mayor Eric Garcetti. The event is part of the city's African American Heritage Month celebrations. LA City Attorney Mike Fuhrer took a picture with President Austin and in a tweet congratulated her on the award in her career in aerospace. Austin was one of the 3 honored African Americans who made exceptional contributions to Southern California education, culture, and humanities. People of all ages and backgrounds came to City Hall this morning to honor them.
On a positive note, this is an awesome event. You see all the African Americans here and other people of color. So I think whenever we can stand up and honor somebody that we feel honor is due, that it's awesome.
Events on campus and throughout the city are scheduled all month to celebrate history and heritage of African Americans. One of the most memorable images from the State of the Union was that sea of women in white.
Evan Falstrup has been looking into the dramatic increase in the number of women in politics. Evan?
That's right, Angel. The number of women who have already declared they want to be the next president of the United States is up to 5, and there may be one more this Sunday. Amy Klobuchar is a Democratic senator from Minnesota. She said she will announce her decision this Sunday in Minneapolis. She recently won her Senate re-election with 60% of the vote and is considered more of a centrist candidate than the other women running. The 5 female candidates who've declared are Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, California Senator Kamala Harris, and author and spiritual advisor Marianne Williamson. Last night, when the president talked about women in the workforce in the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote, the women in white jumped to their feet, high-fived, and cheered. Then the entire chamber applauded and chanted USA, USA. The communications director of USC's College Democrats believes this is a big moment for women.
I think it's an exciting time for women, especially now with the current administration. We really need to band together and just show them that we're here, we're not going anywhere, and, you know, again, that it's the women doing it, not Trump, as we saw last night. How funny that was. They were applauding themselves and he thought it was him, wasn't. And just again shows that we're doing it.
We'll be keeping track of all candidates who announce and will have the latest on Amy Klobuchar after her announcement Sunday.
Thank you very much for that, Evan. President Trump called for unity during his State of the Union, but he still insists on building the wall at the U.S.-Mexico border. For thousands seeking political asylum in Tijuana, things are getting worse. Elizabeth Mayoral Corpus is back from the border with this report.
It's game time in this Tijuana, Mexico shelter. Smiles and laughter hide the danger on the other side of the shelter walls. The Giovanni family fled violence in Honduras. Now, they find themselves stuck in a city where crime is soaring and the murder rate is even higher than in their home country.
It doesn't make any sense. That's why our goal is to get into the United States, hoping to get asylum, hoping that the country can save us. We are not losing hope.
They'll need that hope. Just last month, there was a seismic shift in U.S. immigration policy. Now, families like the Giovannis will be forced to stay outside the U.S. while their case is considered.
We've been waiting here for over a month, and we are waiting and waiting for a number to be called, and the authorities keep telling us the process is delayed.
For migrants who crossed into the U.S. already, there is little hope they will be allowed to stay. By the terms of this new policy, migrants who pass initial screenings will be returned to Mexico and will have to wait in Tijuana in order to appear before a judge. This new policy has been highly criticized by immigration rights activists who don't consider Tijuana as a safe place for migrants. Homeland Security says it's about safety. We have implemented an unprecedented action that will address the urgent humanitarian and security crisis at the southern border. But one shelter director says this will create problems because shelters are already overcrowded. Mexican officials blame the crime problem on the flood of migrants coming from Central America and those shipped back from the U.S. At this point, there is no solution for this problem. For Annenberg Media, I'm Elizabeth Mayoral Corpus.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter Ginger Thompson spoke at USC today about the audio tape she obtained of children crying in immigration detention centers. They had been separated from their parents, and here is a portion of that breakthrough audio tape. Thompson was joined by award-winning Argentinian journalist Graciela Mochkovsky to discuss the impact of that tape and how reporters should cover immigration, race, and the U.S.-Mexico border.
If we treat each other as people rather than sort of, people of a certain race or people of a certain background or people of a certain wealth or socioeconomic class, especially as reporters, I think we'll go a long way. Rather than reporting about people as the other, we should report about people as if they were ourselves.
Thompson and her team at ProPublica are finalists for a prestigious award for their investigative reporting on immigration detention centers.
A state representative in Hawaii is introducing legislation to eventually end the sale of cigarettes in the state. The bill seeks to gradually increase the minimum age of buying cigarettes. By 2024, you can buy them if you're 100 years old. Hawaii increased the minimum smoking age from 18 years old to 21 years old in 2016, and California quickly follows suit. One smoker says he supports the possibility of phasing out cigarettes.
We got a lot of them around that smoking don't need to be smoking. Don't even know what they're smoking anyway. Just like I'm glad they closed the damn smoke shop down here too.
The proposed minimum age does not apply to e-cigarettes or cigars. The bill is likely to be voted on this week.
And coming up, we talk to 3 Trojans nominated for an Oscar for their short documentary.
And we'll look at a new shoe developed by a group at Vertebrae that can heal itself.
And finally, a city council committee voted on a fur ban in Los Angeles. We talked to a local vendor to get her reaction.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
迷惑ボーイ。
ここはなんとかしなくちゃ。スーパーカインドの交通機関案内。When you ride on the bus or rail, don't eat popcorn, meat, or kale. Food can smell and it makes a mess. Keep LA Metro clean and fresh. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Super Kind will be there to solve them. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Super Kind will be there to solve them. We're here with 3 Trojans from the USC Cinema School who were just nominated for an Oscar. Reka Helen, Sam Davis were undergraduates only 3 years ago, and Helen Yenzer is still in the graduate program. Their short documentary, Period, End of Sentence, tells the story of Indian women fighting the stigma surrounding menstruation. First, let's take a quick look.
ये तो घंटे वाले पीरियड्स जो मतलब कॉलेज में चलते हैं
नहीं पैड समझते हो नाम भी नहीं सुना नाम भी तुम्हारा नहीं सुना पता ही नहीं कैसे करेंगे जी कपड़ा सा भी यूज करते हैं ज़्यादातर मैंने ये देखा है कि मतलब इतनी छूट नहीं है.
Thank you guys so much for being here. So can you guys tell me a little bit about how you found the inspiration behind this story?
Sure. So I was actually in high school when I went to the UN on the annual Commission of the Status of Women, where I found out about this issue about girls missing school because of their periods. And my mom and I wanted to do a documentary about this, and we were lucky enough to start a program at my school, and we were lucky enough to meet Rika and Sam, who made it into the wonderful film it is today.
That's awesome. So you guys talk a lot about how there's this pad machine that provides a lot of educational, work opportunities and educational opportunities in the village. Could you talk a little bit about how you saw those effects when you were out there filming?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sam and I went out to India twice to shoot. And the first time that we actually went, the machine had just been installed in the village. And it was really incredible to see how closed off and ashamed these women were when we would just talk to them about menstruation and ask them about it. Some of these women had menstruated their entire lives, and they felt like they had an illness or there was something wrong with them. So when we went back to shoot the second time, it was 6 months after the machine had been installed, and we saw an incredible amount of progress. The women had made close to 18,000 pads. Women were sort of running around the village with pads in their hands, bringing men into the machine room, and they felt truly empowered.
And could you just quickly explain to our viewers how that machine kind of works and how people are able to work on it?
Yeah, so it's a very simple machine. The technology is not crazy by any means. It's meant to be installed in rural areas, which often lack in electricity and sort of the infrastructure. So this machine basically, it takes like a cellulose material, grinds it in a grinder, which turns it into like the fluff of the pad, and then there's a pressing machine where you can press the pads, shape them, cut them, and then it's really up to the women to sort of package them and learn how to market them.
That's so awesome. And so you guys also have a nonprofit called the Pad Project. Where do you guys see this going in the future?
Oh gosh, I feel like one of the women in our film who says I'm dreaming big.
We are dreaming.
Yeah, we are dreaming big.
Yeah.
We made it this far.
Yeah.
Well, every day a Girl Scout leader or a girl from a different high school comes and writes, because I'm the person who is sort of behind the website asking to get involved. So we're having a bunch of schools all over the country get involved in our nonprofit right now, which is really exciting.
Since we launched the film, actually, we have installed 2 more pad machines in neighboring villages. So we're really seeing, you know, a desire and a need for these pad machines in this area.
That's so cool, yeah. Sam, you just graduated USC 3 years ago.
Yep.
How does it feel to be going to the Oscars? Tell me about that.
It's really surreal. Our whole team is really excited. You know, it's just like a total grassroots effort, and no one ever expected to be going to the Oscars. But we always say that the coolest thing about, as cool as that is, the coolest thing about this is to know that halfway around the world there's a group of women who are combating this issue, and you know, fortunately, we're getting a platform to put this issue on a global scale. So,
thank you guys so much. I'm wishing you the best of luck at the Oscars. Can't wait to see you guys out there. Back to you, Angel.
Fantastic work, y'all. Ever had to throw away a pair of shoes because of a hole or a stingy tear that you just wished would have fixed itself? Well, then you might be interested in a material that could make shoes repair themselves by themselves. USC professor Chih-Ming Wang is part of a research team looking into developing self-repairing footwear.
We got some inspiration from some nature organs, for example, animal organs. These organs features very complex geometry, and also these organs can self-heal wounds.
The self-healing material is created by a 3D printer. Viterbi researchers are hoping the self-repairing rubber could make its way into the footwear, auto tire, and electronic industries in the future. And now shifting things on over to weather, I am so glad we finally had a day without water, without rain. I'm a typical Southern Californian. I hate rain.
I don't know. I had to pull out the coat today, the full winter coat, because I was so cold, and I saw a lot of students doing the same thing. We're going to toss it on over to our weather anchor, Emily.
Thanks, Angel and Natalie. I agree. It's pretty sunny out, but quite chilly. Let's look at the current temperature outside. Right now, it's coming in at 56 and sunny. And moving into tomorrow, it looks like it's pretty even. Up in Big Bear, though, it's going to be about 35, a little bit warm for snow. Maybe they'll get some. Down in Palm Springs, 61. Up in San Bernardino, 60. And in Riverside, 60 as well. Looking over to the coast, we have 61 up in Thousand Oaks, 60 down in Malibu, 61 in Northridge, and 60 in the San Fernando Valley. Now down at USC, we're coming in at 63 tomorrow, LAX 61, Long Beach 61, over in Sonoma 61, Anaheim 63, and Pasadena 61. So like I mentioned earlier, we're coming in pretty even around the 60s tomorrow. And now for the 5-day forecast. Tomorrow at USC, it's going to be a high of 63, a low of 42. That's going to carry over into Friday as well. Saturday, we're going to drop off a little to 60. Sunday is going to drop even lower to 58. And Monday, back up to 60. So hopefully we'll see the temperatures rise again on Monday and into next week. While we've been whining about rain and colder weather here in Los Angeles, just yesterday there was snow from wine country through the Bay Area down to the Santa Cruz Mountains. You can see here snow in a backyard in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Longtime meteorologist of the Bay Area, Jan Null, tweeted yesterday, historically February 5th has been San Francisco's snowiest day. See Golden Gate Weather Services on his blog. Golden Gate Weather Services, Null shows through his research that San Francisco and the Bay Area have 11 recorded days of snow. 3 of those 11 days have been February 5th. There is February 5th of 1887, which saw over 3 inches of snow in downtown, and February 5th of 1976, which recorded 1 inch in downtown and up to 5 inches on Twin Peaks. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of in shock about 3 days of February with snow.
Thanks so much, Emily. I'm a San Francisco native, so that's crazy to me. Members of a Los Angeles City Council committee approved a ban today on the sale and processing of nearly all fur products. It's not clear how a ban would affect a store like this one in downtown Los Angeles. Right now, the city does not track fur sales, but one vendor we talked to is concerned.
I really don't understand why they're really doing this, and it's really affecting our business right now. So, as you see, there's not much customers that they want to buy furs because they're saying you're banned, the furs is banned, so this is also a big problem for us.
San Francisco and West Hollywood are two cities that have already banned fur.
Well, switching things over to sports, today one of the biggest days on the USC calendar, National Signing Day for football, and for that we toss it on over to our sports anchor, Taylor Begley.
Thanks, Angel. Yes, it was a big day for a lot of high school students out there. National Signing Day is almost wrapped up, and we'll take a look at how the Trojans did for the 2019 class. We also had the chance to speak to one of the recruits after he signed his letter of intent. And Sam Darnold joined us in Studio B to talk about his own National Signing Day. This and more after the break.
Guys, honestly, 5 more minutes. Like.
迷惑ボーイ。
ここはなんとかしなくちゃ。
スーパーカインドの交通機関案内。
I see you blocking the aisle. That's a rude thing to do. This causes problems because people can't get around you. So when you bring your things like bags or luggage, put them in the proper place. That's metro etiquette. When you're on the train, you need to leave some space so we can go about our day. Don't block the doors or block the aisles. That is not okay. You need to leave some space, so can you please get out the way? Leave some room for the rest of us.
Super kind のように優しくね。
Along with Kyle Ford, Orange Lutheran tight end Ethan Rowe announced he'll be joining the Trojan family. Rowe expressed his excitement to be playing alongside his high school teammate at a university that not only provides him with great athletics, but academics too.
Mainly because of the academics and like what is set up for me after football, because I know it comes to an end one day, and I know I'm pretty much set with the connections and the academics of such a prestigious university.
Four-star wide receiver Ford is looking forward to getting lots of touches when he starts practicing with the team in the fall. He has also previously worked out with quarterback JT Daniels and said Juju Smith-Schuster is one of his role models. Let's toss it to Chloe for more.
Thanks, Taylor. It's National Signing Day, and today USC Football's recruiting class will be mostly solidified. USC had some early signees and even enrollees, which means the recruits are already on campus and taking classes. USC currently sits with the 18th ranked class in 2019 nationally and 3rd ranked class in the Pac-12. Last year, USC had the 4th ranked class nationally and 1st in the Pac-12. We have a couple key players from the early signee class. 3-star safety Britton Allen is already on campus and enrolled in class. He was an important get as the Trojans need depth in their secondary after starters Marvell Tell, Iman Marshall, Isaiah Langley, Ajane Harris, and Jonathan Lockett are graduating. USC also lost 3 defensive backs, Bubba Bolden, Yakili Ross, and Jaquai Godfrey, to transfers through the course of last season. 4-star defensive end Drake Jackson was another key defensive addition. Several key prospects have signed today. 3-star cornerback Adonis Ote chose USC over Arkansas. The Trojans flipped the Arkansas commit after a successful official visit. And as Taylor mentioned earlier, 4-star wide receiver Kyle Ford officially committed. USC is still eagerly waiting to hear if 4-star wide receiver Puka Nacua will become a Trojan. He has been a long-time USC commit and taken multiple visits since the early signing period. The Trojans had a tough season, finishing 5-7, making them bowl ineligible, and the recruiting class took a hit. 4-star cornerback and top 50 national prospect Chris Steele decommitted. USC also lost 5-star wide receiver Brew McCoy 2 weeks after enrolling on campus. McCoy was a key commit for USC and the only 5-star in the recruiting class. Despite the decommits, USC and lower-ranked recruiting class, USC hopes to have a more successful season this fall. Former USC quarterback Sam Darnold is back on campus. He spoke to us about National Signing Day.
For me, I think National Signing Day was, it was an incredible day. Just that feeling of, all right, I'm going. And for me especially, USC was my dream school. And many people know that, and it's well documented, but it's tough to put into words, how exciting it really was for me to be able to sign with my dream school and to be able to see players like Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Matt Barkley, the list goes on and on, Carson Palmer, just like these players play the sport that I grew up watching and for the team that I loved watching, and now all of a sudden I'm about to be a part of that.
I'm looking forward to watching Darnold next season. Back to you guys at the desk.
Fantastic work over there, sports team. Obviously an exciting time here, National Signing Day. But folks, we'll be right back after the break with more ATVN.
Hey guys, Danny Trejo here. There was going to be a whole song and dance routine about how you should wait your turn to enter the train. But they got me, Danny Trejo, to talk to you instead. Look, when you don't wait your turn to enter the train, it's rude and potentially dangerous. And believe me, I know a thing or two about rude and dangerous. I'm Danny Trejo. Don't be like rude, dude. Be kind, like super kind. Excuse me.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
All right, folks, and thank you so much for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone here at Annenberg Media, I'm Angel Viscarra.
And I'm Natalie Ruxton. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.